So again, happy Friday, everybody. So let's get started like we normally do. Short period of bell meditation. So please, wherever you are behind your avatar, get into a nice meditation posture. And as I ring the Ching bell, the idea, focus on the sound of the bell. All right, really get the deep listening going, get the focus going, and just follow the sound. You're probably going to get distracted. It happens to all of us. When it does, just gently remind yourself and go back to focusing on the sound of the bell. Then there'll be a short pause after the short meditation. I'll do the 3 recitations and then on with the talk for today. I go for refuge to the Buddha, the teacher. I go for refuge to the Dharma, the teaching. I go for refuge to the Sangha, the taught. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. I have taken refuge in the Buddha. I have taken refuge in the Dharma. I have taken refuge in the Sangha. 3 pure precepts. Cease to do harm. Do only good. Do good for others. Bodhisattva vow. However innumerable all beings are, I vow to lead them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, I vow to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is, I vow to follow it completely. Swaha. All right, well, happy Friday to everybody, and welcome Sam and Blue. Glad you joined us. Excellent. So, you see my visual aid up there today. And if you noticed in the notice, it did say that this is about talking turkey. And There may be some of you that don't know who that is. That's Julia Childs, very famous chef, TV chef for a long time, still going. Her and Jacques Pepin is still doing their thing. So, Julia Child is the chef that made French cooking accessible to lots of Americans. It was kind of their first introduction into it. And but she once said that at the holiday season, she'd have people come up to her and they would say something like, I don't cook a turkey during the holidays. Oh, that huge naked bird, man, it just intimidates me. And so I'm never sure what to do with it. Well, Julia, being the humorous lady that she was, this sparked an episode of her famous television show, Julia Child's Kitchen, in which she set out to show people how they could deal with the infamous holiday turkey. So she begins the lesson by taking the turkey out and making it dance. And that's what the picture is. I actually looked for a video of it. I can't find the original video. I'd have the link for you because it's very humorous. But anyway, so she takes that turkey dancing. And so what she did there is she began the journey of taking it from intimidating to entertaining. So the image of her holding up this massive bird by its wings and moving it to and fro will make you laugh. But there's also a message here, right? So Julia then points out with the turkey, she says, look, these are the different parts of the bird, and each part needs to be treated differently. And that's how you get the best results. So Julia offers a plan. Excuse me. The breast meat, it doesn't cook the same as the legs or the thighs, and of course the wings, the dressing, none of it can cook in the same amount of time, right? So her idea, take the bird apart. So she does. She takes it apart. And dealing with each part individually, she says, is going to lead us to a holiday meal that's just certain to make all your guests happy. So she proceeds to separate the wings and the legs and the thighs from the body. And she removes the backbone and she removes the tail. So none of those needed attention right now. She put them away for stock for later. But once that was done, she showed how to cook the individual pieces so they turned out tender and scrumptious. The dressing, rather than being stuffed into the body cavity, was put in a nice pan. And at the end, she's left with this large plate of turkey pieces and this pan full of stuffing. So Julia, though, realized the importance of that Norman Rockwell moment. When you bring the turkey out to the table and there's all the people gathered around and it's big and steaming on the tray. So it's very important to this holiday image, right? But not done with her lesson, she takes all those bits and pieces and she reassembles it and makes it look pretty much like a whole turkey being brought out to the table. So what was she doing here? She was trying to teach a way to take some of the stress out of preparing this iconic American holiday meal. She was trying to help out, right? Now, my guess is Julia didn't know much, if anything, about Buddhist philosophy and practice, yet she was engaging it naturally in the way she responded to this situation. Her intent was to offer a different view on how to prepare a turkey. It was kind of like Julia's Buddha nature on display. She's like, I'm doing this for you, right? Well, look, we all know the holiday season can be just as intimidating as a turkey. There's so much going on, and there's so much that needs to be done. There are gifts you need to buy, and there are gifts you need to anticipate, right? There's cookies to bake, and there's cards to mail. You need to decorate the house for the holiday, and then you got to get it ready, clean it up, pretty it up to receive guests. And then you've got an office party maybe, and a family party, and maybe a party with friends, and you got to prepare to host them or maybe just attend them. And in the midst of all this, your livelihood and your livelihood, they've got to go on too. Right? You got work and you got family and you got children and you got pets and the house and the car. They all need the same attention that they usually get. And in some instances, they might need even more attention than they usually get. So you got all these tasks. So back to Julia. Think of all those tasks that you have to do during the holidays like Julia took a view of that turkey. The ingredients of your holiday, they're gifts, parties, family, friends, food, decorations, some other stuff, right? And trying to accomplish all these things at once is going to be intimidating. Big cause of stress. So a common cause of stress in dealing with holiday expectations then is trying to multitask and then feeling like, well, nothing's getting done. Or it's not getting done fast enough. Or it's not getting done right. Either way, it's just not getting done. So separately, you can approach each of those parts and give it the effort and the mindfulness needed to actually complete each task. Then you combine everything together again into this happy and harmonious holiday experience. Like the turkey. Just put it all back together and it's pretty. So those of you that have been practicing Buddhism for a while, those of you just practicing, or those of you just curious, Buddhist practice can be intimidating when you look at it from a macro view. When you look at the mass, say, of Buddhist texts that are available to read, that's intimidating. And I know, because I've tried to read a lot of them. Right? All the different practices you hear about, all the different traditions, this is all intimidating with the macro view. The, Four Ennobling Truths, you got meditation, compassion, serenity, mindfulness, emptiness, mantras, sutras, chanting, all this other stuff. It just isn't an appropriate view that you must prepare them all at the same time, or even in the same way, like the turkey. The Buddha teaches that training and development is a gradual process. Contemporary scientific research has proven that multitasking is detrimental to the final results in any endeavor. So, like Julia's turkey, you view each aspect of practice individually while being mindful that those practices meld together into a really dynamic and effective Buddhist experience. So the core in any Buddhist practice is a commitment to meditation. Even if it's 3 days a week, 10 minutes a day. That's good, right? At least that's something. So we usually recommend sit in Zazen 20 minutes a day if you can, 4 days a week. It's just an opportunity to be with yourself, to get to know yourself, if nothing else. And when you sit, you just sit. And in time, your body-mind will recognize and will value the mindfulness and the insight that you're developing. And then your time sitting in meditation just kind of naturally increases. So that's the gradual process. The mindfulness and insight then is going to lead you to some rigorous self-honesty, and then you're going to achieve this appropriate view of how you are. The ideals of appropriate Buddhist actions like compassion and generosity of spirit, tolerance and livelihood and altruism expand with effort into a socially engaged practice. So again, you're taking the pieces, you're working on them separately, and then you're putting them together. Learned individually, you soon come to realize that these ideals and practices do come together into this holistic way of pursuing the noble life. For Julia's turkey, there is a time it is done. Right? It's juicy, it's delicious, the skin is all brown and crackly, and it's ready to serve. But your Buddhist practice, it is never done. 24/7, 365, it is part of your engaged life. So it never gets done. It's never ready to serve, but it's always getting more refined, right? You're getting better at it. and more effective, you're getting better at it. So Julia's goal was to guide you to a better way to cook a turkey. She did that. By the way, I've used the recipe. Works really good. The Buddha's goal was to guide you to a better way of engaging the causal universe. I've tried that recipe too. It also works.